It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Okay, yes, I am struggling a little bit today. I'm fanboying, and it's all good because these amazing guests warranted to complete our sports takeover. Today on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we are so thrilled to have some green and gold royalty with us. Yes, and a little bit of black and white thrown in there as well, with 37 caps for the Springboks, over 150 appearances for the Sharks in the Currie Cup and Super Rugby, back when we used to play Super Rugby. Let's warmly welcome to this couch an absolute OG and an amazing human being, Stefan Terblanche. Still getting the product drops as well. I see he's dripping from here. So, Steph, thank you so much for being here, brother.
Yeah, fantastic to be here. A little bit colder than Durban, what we used to. So that's why, I almost wore 2 pairs of shorts today. It's that cold. But no,
G-Man was like, make it cold so he doesn't wear like a tight top and make us all like feel insecure. But man, it's such a pleasure to have you here. I think it's so great to be able to reflect on great memories, reflect on great careers, and get hyped up for the big matches that are coming up next week. But let's talk about your career, man. That debut. I remember the game in Ireland, 1998. You come through, pull up there and score 4 tries. Just make a statement. That's how you start a career, bro. But what is that memory like for you? Can you still remember it, firstly? And then secondly, what was it like? Talk to me about it.
It happened so quickly. I think as a schoolboy, and I grew up in a small little town, Swellendam, not far from here, and you play hundreds of test matches in your backyard against your best mates. John and Ati and Hannes and Louis, let's have a game of rugby.
Visualize the crowds and everything.
And trust me, in our backyard, the Springboks always won those games. They were very close.
Did it ever come close?
Well, Terblanche always had a penalty in the last moment. And I never missed, you know. But then to finally have this opportunity to represent your country and to play for the Springboks, and it was a very special day. And what made it even more special is that on that day we played in a white jersey, because the colour clash between the Irish green and the Springbok green and gold made it more special in that, you know, that the dust even didn't settle yet. Gary Teichman gave me a wonderful pass, and I scored my first tries like 4 or 5 minutes into this game, and it's like, wow, is this really happening? And then before you know it, it's over. Yeah. But the only problem is that if you score 4 tries in your debut, everybody expects you to do the same every other game. It's like, oh no, the next 2 weeks later we played against Wales, and I was like, oh, Terblanche only scored 2 tries. Terrible game, terrible game.
And long may that rain, my friend. Because you did kind of set a trend. There are other players who followed suit, and I love the fact that young players get to leap off from where you left off, which is an amazing thing. You've had an incredible career. It's taken you all over the world. What did that do for your life experience, being able to connect with these teams, to be able to share these moments with your brothers, but to get a different perspective? Do you see the world as being this different place, or are we all the same? Because sport kind of does something different.
Sport definitely does something, especially for our country. We've seen it, you know, every time, and especially rugby. And I'm not dishing the other sports because I come from a rugby background. But if you look what sport done, and specifically rugby for our country, and how it brings the nation together. And we're not that different from other countries, you know. I've played in Wales, I've played in Ireland, I've travelled all over the world. So, I mean, I still think South Africa is the best place without a doubt, and that's why we're still here. I never want to leave this place. But yeah, it gives you a different perspective on life, but also just shows you that, you know, people are actually very much the same, and they believe in the same things, and they follow sport, and they just, you know, they just love what sport can do for them, and how it brings them together as a nation. It doesn't matter if you're South African, English, Welsh, you know, Scottish. We all love to have that pride, believing in your country and believing in your nation.
We're too invested emotionally in our sport.
We are. We see that every Saturday, and you said, I'm not going to get upset when the Sharks lose or the Springboks lose, and then, you know, you get very upset.
How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that if it happens on a Friday night? How are you able to turn your weekend around?
You have to. I mean, you've got family now, and
you've got kids.
You're so invested in the sport, and you say, well, this year I'm really going to take it easy. I'm not going to worry about the results. I'm just going to enjoy the game. Before you find it, you're on the edge of your seat, you screaming at the referee, especially at the TV screen, and you get so upset. But it is who we are. It's in our DNA, and I'm not going to try and change that. And I think the rest of South Africa is certainly not going to change it. And with the Rugby World Cup starting in a week's time,
you're going to need it.
Trust me, the next 8 weeks are going to be the attendance at work is going to be very low, especially when the Springboks are playing, and especially when the Springboks win. There's going to be a lot of celebrations going on in the next 6 weeks, and let's have fingers crossed for a great World Cup for South Africa.
Yeah.
That will be.
Look, on that note, I mean, I wish we could just spend the entire day just chatting to you on the couch right now. I want to talk to you to you about the pressures of the game and anything else. But I think for now, considering we're going into this big tournament, maybe you have some words of encouragement. I know you as a player have a great insight into what it really takes to perform at this level and what a player needs, maybe from us, maybe from the community, maybe from South Africa, what it is that we can help assist in just getting them over that threshold and bringing that gold back again.
I think it's a great question, and trust me, as a player, you can pick up the energy, whether it's positive or negative. You know, in the stadium, without a doubt, you can pick that up. But you know, for us as South Africans, just to keep supporting the guys. I know we're going into the World Cup as one of the favourites. We're not favourites yet. I think we're third. You know, you got Ireland, who's number one team in the world, and then South Africa, and then France. Obviously, France playing at home will be a big threat and a serious contender for the Rugby World Cup in 2023. But I think as South Africa, let's just keep that vibe going. Let's wear the Bok jerseys. Often, you know, you go onto a field, as I said, you can feel that energy. You might be leading the game, but you know, something's not right here. There's something missing. And trust me, Sia and his team, they can pick up if something's not right. And they that sort of team, I think they're very mature going into the World Cup with a great performance against the All Blacks. It's great on the one side, but also worries me on the other, knowing that, geez, we just beat the All Blacks by 35 points, and the biggest score ever in the history. Yes, we played against 14 men for 40 minutes, but I think that energy and that vibe as South Africans, let's just we're unique. We're a special rugby nation. We're a special nation. Let's keep that vibe going. Let's wear the green and gold, and trust me, we can bring this World Cup back at the end of October.
I love it.
You, my friend, you. I've almost forgotten about all the black and white years now. You're amazing, buddy, and you are always this. You're always so welcoming and so positive and in such unbelievable shape on the cover of magazines, just making it all right for all of us to want to live this year. But thank you for everything you've given to the sport, most importantly.
Great to be here, and thanks for the sport, and thanks for all South Africans who's always supported through the thick and thin, win or lose. We love you guys.
Yeah, and we feel it when you lose, but we are there when you win. So let's hope that's the story's narrative.